It is big crane time, and it's another limited edition from WSI Models. This is the 6-axle Liebherr LTM 1350, and it's in the colours of the American company Digging and Rigging. As you can see, it's quite a big box with factory sealed trays. There's also a manual that goes with it, and we'll look at that again shortly. We cut the tape, we lift the lid, and there's the model Digging and Rigging. This is the included manual, and it's in an unusual style with line drawings, but it pretty much tells you most of what you need to know. One thing the manual shows is a fixed fly jib, and it's a pity that more versions of this model don't have that fixed fly jib included. We will start by getting the crane ready for the road in its lightest configuration. The first thing to do is to take some rope off of the winch drum, and here we've rigged up the smallest of the two hooks that's included with the model. And it's good that there's a proper latch at the front to hook onto when the crane's driving along the road. Because we're travelling light, there's nothing else to add except some handrails at the back, and we'll use the set that's folded down for transport mode. This model is all about high detail, very high detail, and that starts underneath with all of the individual components modelled in metal. Also impressive is the hoses that run to the various tanks, and that continues right through to the rear of the chassis, so the detail underneath is great. Moving up top, there's an oversized load sign in the cab, and the Digging and Rigging colour scheme and decoration is great, including that stripe on the cab door. While we're at the front, there's another great graphic on the boom tip, and the coloured wheels have different hubs depending on whether they're driven or not. Another excellent detail is the branding on the tyre walls. The high detail continues with lots of tiny graphics, and moving to the crane cab, it's very detailed inside. Walking around to the back, there's a Liebherr graphic and another Digging and Rigging graphic, and there's a big toolbox as well as lights with plastic lenses and a realistic number plate. The outrigger beams have got nice chevron graphics, and it's always good to see smooth cylinders when they're extended. Metal spreader plates are also included. Behind the carrier cab there's more great detailing, including a very nice mesh grille, and yet more tiny graphics. The luffing gear winch is provided reeved from the factory, and there's another great graphic at the back, and the counterweight blocks are all nicely formed with the Liebherr name on. It's the livery which really sets this model apart, and that continues on the Y-guy beams, and there are plenty of pleasing details. Each of the boom sections has a realistic profile, and there's more great graphics. This is the bigger of the two hooks, and it's a nice metal part, and it includes safety catches on the hooks. We have reviewed this model before a number of times in different colours, so we'll just have a quick run through the main features before doing a lift with the crane. There's steering and suspension on every axle, and it all works well enough, and it's also able to make a decent attempt at cornering. If you have a fleet of suitable vehicles, you can make up a convoy to go with the crane, and I guess it would be nice if one day trucks were available in Digging and Rigging colours. We'll also bring a 3-axle taxi crane along. On site you can swap out the handrails for ones that are used when the crane is in operation, and you can set up some interesting poses such as laying out the spreader plates, or the crane building up its counterweight on the carrier deck. Because we've got the taxi crane, we can also use it to fix the Y-guy beams, so interesting displays are possible. On the cab, the walkway platform pulls out and pushes in, and the crane operator can get comfy by tilting the cab. If he gets too comfy, you can rotate him around and around, and you alter the angle of the boom by tightening a screw in the metal ram jacket. You can turn a key and operate the winch, and you can open up the Y-guy and tighten it up using the key. All these functions work very well on the model, so let's get the crane busy and ready to do a big lift. And what can be better than for the big LTM 1350 to lift up the little LTM 1050? The winch works well and there's enough friction to hold this heavy load. But perhaps the big crane is saying, he ain't heavy, he's my brother. This model from WSI has been produced for a number of years now and in different colours, and it remains one of the best crane models. This particular one looks really great in the colours of digging and rigging, and it's almost worth getting for the artwork alone. So great details and really good functionality make this an excellent model.